Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's
Mommer
spaghetti.
spaghetti.
He's nervous.
But on the surface, there's no longer spaghetti because I ate it all. Because I've been going to the gym twice a day. You don't know me, son. For real, though. I have been going to the gym twice a day. It's been killing me. But I feel,
Have you actually?
yeah.
Twice
dude,
a day.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It's a mental shift. If you want to do it, it's a mental shift. Remove a lot of things from your life, and you're going to be focusing on your body for a while. That's how it feels. If you want to do it.
I'd like to run an experiment with the gym. I did that in Costa Rica.
Did you?
It was miserable. Twice a day.
With the sun?
No
Ugh,
energy,
yeah.
bro. No.
Was it outdoor? Like outdoor gym?
Oh, no, not the gym. I did it for soccer.
Oh, for soccer, yes.
Twice a day is for like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah. I
Just
don't know.
no energy left in the tank.
About,
Sleeping like a baby.
yeah, it's been interesting. I like the way I feel, for sure. I think if you come at it with like a past warrior mentality, you're like, yeah, I got this. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to shred.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're going to shred that solo tomorrow night's concert, whatever. Just,
I don't know.
yeah, if you treat the gym like that, you got this, man. Twice a day is pretty tough.
I think it's more of a mental thing. I don't think it's necessary physically.
Yeah. I'm just sick of it. You know, after coming out of surgery and all this stuff, I've been wanting to go to the gym. I can't. And I went multiple times and it just destroyed me. So it made my recovery process a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to do that. And I felt pathetic. So I started going. I went 1 week every day in the morning. And then this is my second week now. And I'm going twice a day. Literally twice a day. Once in the morning, once at night. And if you eat in between and after. Like,
you'll get results.
100% I'll get results. And I feel amazing right now. Energy-wise, I'm not doing any pre-workout. I'm not doing any caffeine. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just solely relying on the food pyramid. Food, like chicken.
Arnold proteins.
I've been having a lot of walnuts. I've been having a lot of cashews. I've been having a lot of almonds.
You really like your nuts, don't you?
I do. I love nuts. You know how it is. Just good old salty nuts.
Just crunching nuts in your mouth?
Yeah, it's good fats, dude. You
Yeah.
feel amazing.
Yeah, I bet you do.
You know, metabolism, that kind of stuff.
We've got to be immature sometimes, people. Come on. Come on.
We wouldn't be boys, I guess.
Be the boys.
Boys need to be boys.
What's up, man? We haven't recorded in like a week.
Yeah, dude, I've been having issues, like I said, with sinuses. I had an infection, an unexpected infection. And my face was swollen for about 2 days.
Let me bring that picture up. Can we actually put it on for the audience?
Okay, I mean, I guess. Yeah, why not? It's not that great to look at, but we'll pop it up right here. Yeah, I know.
You can't even tell. You've
Honestly,
got maybe a little bit of a red nose.
Yeah, I was dying on the inside.
I was dying.
Okay. It's like I saw the rainy cloud about to disappear and it entered my sinuses. And it was just a dark circle in your head.
Mm.
Can't focus, can't do much. So you're like, dude, what is this? And then called my doctor. What's cool about doctors these days is that they'll give you a Zoom call.
Oh, really? Who?
Yeah. So they're like, oh, yeah, the doctor will call you in 15
Your
minutes.
personal, like, primary physician?
Primary physician, yeah.
Huh.
So he called me. He was like, yo, what's going on, man? He's like, hey, you make music? And I was like, oh, well, I run a podcast, actually. And then he's like, oh, shoot. Because he saw like all the stuff in the back. And I was like, oh, yeah. But anyway, so he's a cool doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And then he proceeded to tell me, yeah, it looks like you have an infection in your sinuses. Your face is pretty swollen up.
Oh, thanks, doctor.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Amazing
so
advice.
Here's 3 medications. One of them is a steroid. I was like, why do I need a steroid?
Yeah, why do you need any of that?
He's like, just read the label and you'll know why. It's up to you to take it, but you only need one a day. I did it the first day. Whoa, dude.
What happened?
I was like pretty much high as hell. I was on medication. I was on, what was it, antibiotic? So I was going through basically fever symptoms.
Why do you need
In
to
and
be
out.
on an antibiotic for a sinus infection?
Because it's bacteria.
Is it like a really bad infection?
Yeah. So when it gets really bad, in my case, it has started as just normal, like sinus. Like I needed sinus relief. It wasn't going away. 2 days later, 3 days later, it didn't go away. 4th day, I wake up and dude, I can literally feel like my eye drops are swollen.
Okay,
if that
maybe
makes
you
sense.
did need it.
It felt like they were thicker. The juices in me were not right.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel good. My brain felt nasty. My Oura ring was telling me that I got really bad sleep, even though I slept 7 hours and 50 minutes.
Was your body temperature high?
Do not recall, but probably.
Yeah. It's the number one way
Because
to
I
tell.
was sweating. Yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah. Interesting enough. It was an infection, which was believable. Made sense. You know, I woke up feeling weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I did that, and now.
By the way, I really have to compliment you on your new hoodie.
Thank you very
It's,
much. Yeah, you like
who
that
made
new
it?
little Coffee Sippers hoodie? Well, it was actually made by Logan Cypress. He made the design.
Shout out to Logan.
Yeah, but he made it for the 2 a.m. podcast and is for the Coffee Sippers exclusive.
I have the shittier version. This is the more high quality one.
Yeah, it's the one with the sleeve right here where it says 2 a.m. podcast. Feed the mind.
So
You know,
sexy.
believe in common sense. All that. Well, should we show the back? Pretty much the same thing.
If you want, yeah.
Check this out, guys. Bang.
Little butt wink too.
Mm-hmm. You like that? Anyway. Yeah, what's been up with you?
It's been fucking
I've been
hectic, bro.
just doing that.
Just client calls, too much
Working.
driving. San Bernardino, Chino Hills,
LA,
Rancho Cucamonga.
everywhere.
But we're used to it because we've had like terrible drives in the past,
Mhm.
like really terrible. Like, what's your worst drive? What's your worst commute?
My worst commute? Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Okay, so coming from Riverside County, I used to drive every single morning, 6 days a week, to past Topanga. So I would go to
Oh.
the valley of LA. So I'm passing Malibu. And I had to do that every day with gear and my camera stuff. And I had to come back every single day after that drive.
6 days a week.
6 days a week. Come back. Summon the will to take my bag out of the car so I can charge the damn batteries for the next day.
And do it again.
Yep. And it was a cycle. I remember I didn't know who I was for like about a month because it was just like my brain was probably cycling through what the hell's going on. I'm experiencing way too much stuff at once and not getting enough sleep. So obviously your REM is messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks. Yeah, but I did that.
Topanga.
Yeah, I did that for 2 months and a half.
Where specifically past Topanga?
The valley, dude. I don't know. It's a desert. It's like once you stop reaching malls, you know, like it's just brown.
It's just all
dusty.
brown.
Yeah, that's when I would stop. It was literally in the middle of the desert.
God.
Yeah, we had camp there.
So that's by far your worst.
Yeah,
How long did that last?
2 months and a half, about.
Well, mine was actually pretty similar. It was my house
Hmm.
all the way to Topanga.
Topanga.
Probably like 5 days a week.
Yeah, not fun.
No.
Not fun at all. I do like stories though, where people, you know, they're less fortunate, but they are grateful. And what they do is they walk to work or they use their bike or they, you know, use ways of transportation that just suck for a long time just so they can save up enough to buy their proper form of transportation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a 2.5 hour drive at most, I think.
Yeah. There's this kid actually from, where's he from? I think Minnesota or Wisconsin. Forgot. Anyway, regardless, he had just got a new job, okay? And his car broke down the day before. And he had been waiting to get this job forever. Okay.
Mhm.
And this guy's like, he's a hustler, man. He's trying to like grind it out. He's been studying his entire life. Finally got the job. Needs to go in there at 7 a.m. and his car died the night before. So, and he has $0.
Nice.
So he's like, what do I do? You know what he did? He got ready at 1 a.m., started walking. He walked 23 miles to work.
That's some hustle.
And he made it 30 minutes early.
That's some hustle.
Yeah. And he said, and he told like everyone what happened, I guess. And the company bought him a car.
That's some wholesome shit right there.
Mhm.
It's like the type of stuff you see on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, what's the main guy who's verified? He's got like 8 million.
Oh,
He's actually in this area.
is he?
Yeah, he's in like Newport, Irvine, Costa
Oh,
Mesa.
yes, you're right. Yeah, the guy that goes like by the freeway exits or
What's his name?
completely forgot. Duncan?
No, whatever.
Whatever. But yeah, sounds very Newport. Yeah, dude. It's always nice to, view news like that, and read news like that, rather than always just what's up with Ukraine, what's up with Palestinians, what's up with this, what's up. Because as we know it, the world sucks right now, and it's there's no positive perspective to think about it from. I think
No, there's a lot of positive perspectives.
there is, but there's much less now.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. I don't really agree with that.
What do you mean? Like
I think
politics?
there are a lot of positives, there are a lot of negatives. It's that simple. And to varying degrees as well.
Well, yes. But I want to see this from the eyes of the average person. Okay. I do want to go in, obviously we can have way deeper conversations, because if we were to talk about what do you not like, that's obviously a very philosophical question.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes into terms of it follows the same guidelines as oh, dude, this is just merely an appearance, and the true real life is here and now, Don't be fooled by the appearance of things. Whatever. Sad guru crap.
Sad guru.
Yeah.
He's a sad man.
Yeah, he's a very sad man.
No, he's a very happy man. Maybe he cries in his sleep. I don't know.
We don't know, but even if he does, the thing is that he tells you to, because that's the natural state. You're supposed to feel. And if you feel and you're a healthy individual, you take time for things.
You take time to think about the soil.
Yes, the soil.
The soil is so important.
Yes, you must not neglect your body. It is
the soil and the nutrients.
73% water.
Yeah, but what was the thing? This is a subject that I wanted to bring up. I've been thinking about a little bit. Speaking of the guy who left at 1 a.m. to walk to work.
Yes.
That shows that's a great level of hustle. But I think more importantly, this is what's on my mind, is that it shows urgency. And I think a lot of people, I used to be one of these people, but a lot of people, especially young men, don't have urgency in their lives. They want to take their sweet ass time. And even if they're more developed on the psychological end, they start to use excuses like, oh, let me enjoy my life and just be mindful about the situation. Be mindful about what I'm doing. Who says that mindfulness has anything to do with speed or lack of speed? You could be moving around the world doing a lot of shit.
Yes.
Going about your tasks and wanting to develop a sense of urgency, but still be mindful. You find the stillness through acceleration.
Yeah. Yeah. No. The urgency. You're right. I like that, actually.
And I see it everywhere. I think the best place to see it is when people drive.
That's interesting. I have a kind of a different perspective on urgency when it comes to taking action to things happening around you. So we get told as men, very simple, example, men should open up more. Men should be more emotional, right?
Oh, yeah.
They should always, we'd like to hear that. We know you're going through things. But that makes you not a man. That.
Exactly.
It breaks a barrier. It breaks glass. It breaks a wall, whatever it is, whether you like it or not. Unfortunately, I feel like that's just the natural state of how a man should be. They should be literally a solid wall that people can rely on, right?
There's a large element of stoicism.
Yes.
For good reason.
Yeah, for good reason, yeah. Because you're when you think of a husband, when you think of a man, you think of, the caregiver, whatever, Mr. Security. You think of all that. You think of a giant cave of a hug and its protection. That's what you think of as a man, right? And we get told to do the opposite. So that relays into the urgency's gone. I feel like it, if I were to take another situation, let's just say on TikTok, you're scrolling and you see a fight, right?
Mhm.
And it turns out that the context of the video is like someone trying to strangle a lady, right? Or whatever. And everyone's just sitting there recording rather than doing something about it, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that the urgency's gone? That sense of urgency, that sense of protection?
It plays a
that sense
role.
of- like there's something in the air
Mhm.
where we are actually in a lab at this point, and we're reacting to something, and we're getting dumber, and we don't have that natural basic instinct of like, or as strong anymore, you know, at least to where like we must protect, serve, blah, blah, blah. We don't need freaking like, why do we look at police as like the protectors or whatever? Why don't we look at it like our neighbors? You know, why can't we huddle up and just be like, yo, we're all great people. Let's get the fuckheads out of here. You know, like we don't do that. You know, everyone's to themselves.
Mhm.
It's weird. It's
Those are
weird for me to
fighting
go
words.
outside to see my neighbor, right? I'm like, hey, how's it going? And they're like literally rushing to go inside.
Human interaction.
Oh my God.
Do I say
what do
hi?
I do? Yeah, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's fascinating to me that it has to be this way, but it's absolutely wrong. It's 100% wrong. We're taking a 180-degree shift into treatment,
Mhm.
urgency, everything, man.
And to your point of like society telling men that they should open up, yes, true to a certain extent. But at the same time, I think that's a narrative that's pushed mostly by women because they don't understand how men operate. In the same way that a lot of men push a certain narrative towards women because they don't understand how women operate.
Mm-hmm. The oldest thing I get is I don't get why. Like I hear this from older people. Like I'm talking 50 plus. Okay. I don't get why women always ask, what are you thinking about? And they do not understand that I'm thinking about literally nothing.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've had that.
Right?
I've had that a lot.
What are you thinking about? I can't even explain it because I have found stillness and you have interrupted it. That's all that's happened. That's literally all that's happened. I'm not thinking about anything. You get me?
You've interrupted my
Yeah.
zen.
I've had to explain that many times to people and they do not understand it, like as if I'm stupid or something. I'm like, no, dude, take your time.
It's not just that though. I think they ask you the question of what are you thinking about just to read you more and to understand you more because at least from my perspective, I can be very hard to read. Especially for the
Yeah.
people close to me.
Well, that's what you want as a man, technically.
Not always.
Yes, but do you see? That means you practice stoicism in some sort of way.
Mhm.
You know, you practice being a formation of a rock.
Yeah.
Somehow. So
It goes back to your good old saying. What is it?
balance.
Balance.
Balance. Everything goes back to balance. man.
Balance. Speaking of an imbalance, what's this whole Tylenol
Oh
shit you
God.
wanted to bring up?
Oh God. The Tylenol Murders.
Yeah,
You haven't
what
heard
is
about
that?
them? They are the Chicago 1980s Tylenol, the company, as you guys know, that protects your headaches and, you know,
Or so they say.
relieves pain, as so they say. It's an acetaminophen, which is
It's an NSAID.
painkiller.
It's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory.
exactly. So therefore, it's a very like basically minor. It's not that crazy of a drug to take. You could take it daily. You could take multiple days.
No, it's actually a really crazy drug to take. like-
Depending on where it's stored, depending on everything. I'm going to literally go through that. But
Yeah.
Anyway, 1980s. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Flashback. Let's just say this guy's name is Dan. All right. This Dan guy goes to pick up his kids from school. While he's there, he gets a migraine. He's like, man, I don't feel so good. And he remembered that he doesn't have Tylenol at home.
Mm-hmm.
So on the way back home, he goes to CVS, picks up some Tylenol, goes back home. Kids go in. Guy pops him in, takes a nap. The mom comes home. She's cooking dinner, whatever. He wakes up, and then as soon as he gets into the kitchen, he collapses on the floor. They're like, what the hell? Immediately call 911. They take him to the hospital, pronounced dead. So they're like, what happened? Everyone's confused. They don't know. We need to run an autopsy to see what's going on because this is very strange. As that's happening, the family goes back home with the kids and the wife in grief, you know, as to what just happened. The shock is immense and all this stuff. And the wife goes to sleep, I believe. And when she wakes up, the grandparents were sitting with the kids, unconscious. What the hell? So she calls the police again, right? 911. What's your emergency? Same thing, same routine. They come back, pronounce dead at the hospital. So they're facing like a chaotic day where 3 people have just died. All right. So they try to trace everything. They did an investigation at the house and all that good stuff. And they ended up finding the only thing that they can trace that was recent was a Tylenol bottle with 3 pills missing.
So each person took one.
Basically. So
Okay.
they had to run a test on those Tylenols. And the pills, turns out, had cyanide. And it had 200 times the amount of... Oh, no, sorry. I'm sorry. 10 times, which was, I think, 2,000 milligrams. 10 times the amount that would kill someone.
Of the active ingredient in Tylenol?
The remaining pills had that many. So they could only imagine how much the first few pills had.
Let me see this. Do you have any other details to explain about that?
No, other than that, it was basically a giant lawsuit was filed against Tylenol, right? And they had to do a halt, and they, on the news, basically, they had to just interrupt broadcast, and they had to announce local first, do not buy Tylenol, or like literally taking them off the shelves. Yeah, taking them off the shelves. And then they decided to do a nationwide poll as well. Off the shelves. Just a total recall. After reading into it, I was trying to find out what the hell was happening, like what caused cyanide to be like that. A lot of the theories were because of storing and the places they were made.
Huh.
A bunch of theories were like that. Nothing was 100% confirmed, but it gets you to think, right? That's a huge mistake. That's a giant mistake from a trusted company, right? Because even Tylenol themselves went crazy. They're like, what's happening? What? This doesn't make any sense. So I would just have to imagine that in the 80s, being like a company owner, I don't think it's as big as today.
I just don't know why there would be cyanide in Tylenol.
Well,
even
we
with
have
the
to look at
manufacturing
chemistry,
process.
I believe, because there's a lot of things we don't know the reactions of,
Yeah.
when it comes to things like that, especially when it comes to things that are formulated in a lab to begin with, right? It's pretty much chemical based.
I know. I mean, based off of my like supplement and vitamin research, a big concern for me when I work with clients is conventional B vitamins, because they contain something called cyanocobalamin, something along those lines. I might be saying it wrong, and that's essentially one step to remove chemically from cyanide. So it's actually toxic, which is why I recommend that people take a methylated form of vitamin B12, vitamin B6.
You're right. It's less risky in the cooking process or the formulation process.
Yeah.
To form something that can be poisonous, essentially. Yeah, so it's crazy. I mean, like, imagine facing something like that. Tylenol is not a small company. It's a big company. They're probably selling it for years and years and years. Interestingly enough, this happened, and the fact that it was scary because anyone can take it, and it's just an over-the-counter kind of like, that's terrifying. I can imagine this happening to food. I can imagine this happening to like anything you could buy on the shelf.
Were there more cases of deaths? Or was it just those 3 deaths?
I do not recall, but I do not doubt it.
Okay.
But there was those 3 deaths that basically had the autopsies done, and that's what started the story. More to look into, I think.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that, but like it's interesting to think of that. That's just Tylenol. This could be affected with coffee. This could be affected with anything. We don't know where these things are coming from. We just go to Ralph's and pick it up.
Yeah.
Right. But there's another story one of my friends told me. Is someone cracking open a can of Bud Light, and there's a gecko in it, or a freaking lizard.
Yeah, I've heard stories like that.
Like, what the hell? Like, where are these things? Dude, I just can't deal with that. And it's just, I would like to know, that this source is trusted, and truly have it be trusted, not just believe it and, you
Yeah.
know, have it.
But then again, that's the exception. Like to have a gecko in your Bud Light can, like you got to remember that they have many manufacturing facilities, and to make sure that that manufacturing facility is like sealed tight and
Mhm.
able to produce a perfect amount of product, that's incredibly difficult.
It is incredibly
Like
difficult.
you're talking about the level of standards that a biochemical weapon facility would have outside of Wuhan, China, because we know what happened
sort
there.
of, but no, I think it's much easier than the scale that we think about it. Because look at Amazon. Look how many look how many facilities they have, and they're not tiny,
Mm-hmm.
and they have hundreds of thousands of employees. Just one.
Yeah, but they're not producing the product for the most part. I mean, you have Amazon Basics and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
but what I'm saying is that population-wise, we're a lot of people. We can technically, maybe, have it be doable because of the amount of people we have.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's like that's why we have things like inspectors and monthly whatever. Like, and if we're on a nation like the United States,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's a huge plot of land. Okay. How many facilities are there going to be in each state? And then how many people are going to be inspecting that for each city?
Yeah.
In like each location within each city, within each county, within each state, within, you know what I mean?
It's very complex.
Yeah, it's very complex, but you start to build like little spider webs of these, like literally, John from Oregon is going to take care of this inspection for like,
Mhm.
you can technically be spot on with the help of people.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, dude, because that's what we believe in. Is
You know
like-
what I originally thought of when you mentioned the
Yeah.
Tylenol murders?
What?
I thought you were talking about like some serial killer who would like dose people with Tylenol and just kill them.
Oh no.
I wasn't expecting like
Yeah.
a recall
No, it was
type of situation.
It was a recall. Crazy, man.
I'd feel like such an asshole if I was a CEO of a company and
Yeah.
had to have like all of my product
No,
recalled.
100%, dude. But I mean, obviously they got, paid out, the families,
Yeah.
whatever was remaining of them. That sucks, man. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed that story, give us a thumbs up and a 5-star review on Spotify. We're also available on Apple Podcasts, Samsung, freaking Google, everything you want, any brand, anything that has a platform. We're there. Yeah. Follow us on YouTube at the 2 a.m. podcast, also on Instagram at the 2 a.m. podcast, and TikTok. Don't forget that. Leave us a 5-star review and we shall put it on our website.
Yes, we shall.
Yes, we shall. Anything else?
No, should be all set.
For sure. Catch you guys next time. Peace.